And okay, we're live. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. First and foremost, today is the first episode of like the podcast ish called Falcons Dice. If you watched my video posted a little earlier, then you will know that indeed this is going to be kind of like a podcast like series where I'm probably going to do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we're going to come on here talk about Falcons topics. If you watched what's going on, Rise Up, Beat Down. I'm going to post the StreamYard link in a minute because we're going to start talking about these topics in a minute. But yeah, may do debates from here and there. Probably won't do any of it today, and it'll probably go for about an hour. But yeah, let's actually, I'll probably, you know what, I'll put the link in right now. There's the StreamYard link for anyone that, and yeah, that's my squeaky ass chair. But for anyone that wants to come in and talk about this team, you're free to. Falcons fan, we got Rise Up Beat Down up in here. What's going on, bro? We'll see if we get anyone else up on in here. Okay, looks like we have Rise Up Beat Down in the waiting room. What's going on, bro?
What's up?
Nothing much, about to start talking about in a minute. We're going to talk about 3 topics today. And how this is going to go is like we're going to talk about it together. Like I'll go first and then like you'll go second. But anyway, that's how it's going to go. But I'm going to do topic number 1 in a minute. Well, I'll do it now. So let's do it. Topic number 1 is going to be about Calvin Ridley. Now, Calvin Ridley, I think we all know by now, is probably going to be our next great receiver, as it was Roddy White for a long time. Now it's Julio, and next up is Calvin Ridley. Now, Calvin Ridley was on his way to a 1,000-yard season last year, but due to him getting injured, that actually didn't happen. So, yeah, but Ridley was on his way to a 1,000-yard season, could have been on his way to a Pro Bowl appearance last year, but he didn't really make it for the fact that he got injured, but towards the end of the season, he was really lighting it up. So this topic is kind of going to be like about Calvin Ridley and will he get 1,000 yards. This really, to me, is kind of a topic that I think has already kind of lighted it up. I think that Ridley's already kind of broken out, but this is going to be his year where he actually, lights the league up. He'll have a Chris Godwin type 3rd season where he'll probably have over 1,000 receiving yards, probably 8 or 9 touchdowns. And yeah, so I mean, do you want to say anything about this?
I think he'll get 1,000 yards this season because our pass game.
Yeah, and also another thing is that he would have had, if he kept having, he was on pace to have a 1,090-yard season and probably like 8 or 9 touchdowns before he got injured. But I mean, yeah, so you got anything to say about this? I mean,
Wait, what did you say? My bad.
About Ridley and his breakout case.
I think he'll break out this year.
I think he will break out this year. Will break out big time, and he'll finally state himself as one of the more better receivers in the league. Like,
Oh yeah,
he'll have a real Chris Godwin like third season, and Julio's obviously getting older. He isn't going to be here forever.
oh yeah,
Um,
About this topic, I had a debate with a Cowboys fan. They said,
what'd you say?
He said Michael Gallup's a better receiver than Calvin Ridley.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say this. This isn't going to be a whole lot of trash talking. We may have debates here from time to time about the Falcons, but this isn't going to be like a whole lot of trash talking.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say this. Ridley is way better than Michael Gallup. No one can even try to tell me otherwise. Ridley's has had a great first 2 seasons in the NFL, and he's just a great all-around talent. And Michael Gallup, he's a good number 3 wide receiver to me.
I mean,
yeah. Hold on. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I said if Michael Gallup was better than Ridley, they would never draft CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, but like I was saying about Ridley, Julio's getting older. He isn't going to be here forever. I do think Julio will be here 3 or 4 more years. And also Matt Ryan's getting older, so Ridley will probably be that number 1 receiver for our new quarterback that will come in after Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
But right now, I think 2020 is going to be Ridley's breakout year. Ridley's got a lot of speed. He can run routes. He does need to clean up some dropped passes from time to time, but you can work on that with a receiver anytime. It's not that hard to get a receiver to be able to catch a ball. I mean, now, is he going to be able to make an Odell Beckham catch, like one-handed? No. And is Ridley going to be as good as Julio will be? That is to be seen, but I definitely think he's going to be a great receiver for our team. He's not that physical like Julio. I think maybe he could work on that, but, he's got great speed. He can make big plays. He's our big play receiver, which is what we need. We love having 2 receivers that can go out and be number 1 receivers, which is really what we need here for us to win that Super Bowl. And I think that we definitely probably will end up doing that this year.
I think Matt Ryan can play for another 10 years. I think he can play till he's 40. He
can play. I mean, now this is about Ridley, but I mean, yeah, Matt Ryan can play for a few more years. I think maybe 3-4 more years. And if he plays for 5 more years and gets a Super Bowl ring, and he plays for 5 more years at the level he'll have over 72,000 passing yards. So, I mean, that's for a different time. But I mean, Matt Ryan is just so underrated. The stuff that he's done these first 12 years in his career, and it's just so much disrespect that gives on Matt Ryan for one thing that really wasn't 100% of his blame.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ridley, I overall think is gonna break out. I think he'll have an excellent year. Ridley, there's the only thing I don't like about Ridley is that he isn't physical. I like a big physical receiver, but everything else I love about him. I love his speed. He's got great turbo speed.
He's more like a
big plays downfield for us. And, when Julio's kind of banged up or Julio can't play, it's okay because we have Calvin Ridley over here who can be able to play just as good as Julio, who can be able to make the big plays. And yeah.
Yeah, I think I can I would compare Ridley to a receiver. I think he's more like a Juju.
Hold on, what did you say?
I said I think Calvin Ridley. He's kind of more like a Juju Smith-Schuster type of receiver.
Juju Smith-Schuster, yeah.
Yeah.
Ridley's gonna probably be our Juju Smith-Schuster. I've actually heard that a good bit, but I think he can be better than Juju because the fact, I mean, Juju's a great receiver and all, and Juju can put up the speed. He can make the big plays, which is exactly like Ridley. But I think give Ridley a few years and he'll be better than Juju.
Yeah.
He's that because Ridley's the guy that, he's not going to catch every single ball that you throw at him. He's not the guy that you want to force feed the ball. Like, he's not going to go out and catch every ball. But when he gets the ball, he's going to make a big play. And he's going to have a great year. I think he'll make the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career. Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley will be like last year's Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. It's just their quarterback won't be throwing 30 interceptions, and they won't have to be playing defense.
I think we go 11-5 or 14-6. That's why I see a record.
I think 10-6 we can go, but I think if we make the playoffs, we will be the scariest team in the playoffs.
The only team I'm really worried about in the playoffs really is the Eagles. Because the Eagles are good.
Yeah.
Now they are. My favorite catch when Calvin caught that ball against the Eagles. That's my favorite catch.
Yeah, Calvin's had already so many great moments in his career, like the catch versus the Eagles. I remember when I saw that because I was actually somewhere. I was in North Carolina, but I would have been at that game if that wasn't the case. When I saw that catch, I was like, just how did he catch that ball? Like,
Calvin,
are you kidding me? And then the touchdown versus the Texans last year. The one thing I really like about Ridley is he doesn't give up on the play.
Yeah.
Is he had great footwork versus the Texans last year. He goes up and he's kind of like one of those daredevil receivers. He's not going to go up and try to make a catch, but I mean, when he's got that ball or he's in position to get that ball, he can catch that ball. Now, he's not going to make like an Odell Beckham catch where he's going to be falling back and all of a sudden make a catch. But, when he finds an opportunity to catch that ball, you better bet that he's either going to end up with that ball in his hands or he almost did. And it was just a very tight position. But, Ridley, and the footwork that he did versus that Texans when he made that touchdown was just, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
Well, that game was getting her ass whooped. I stopped watching.
That Texans game?
Yeah, that Texans game when we got destroyed by him. I didn't even want to watch that shit. I quit watching it.
You mean the game versus the Texans last year?
Yeah, that game last
year. That game was a fucking awful show, and after that game, I was like, how the fuck do you give up 50-plus points? That was just me. Yeah. I was like, fucking...
Defense fucking sucked. Dude, defense choked it. The defense fucking sucked.
But, I mean, even though we lost that game big, Ridley still had a good game.
Yeah.
And Ridley, I think he'll be great in fantasy this year. So if he's maybe available in the late rounds, maybe I suggest, hey, go out and snag Calvin Ridley. But he'll be great in fantasy this year. I think he'll be a great receiver this year. And I'm going to say this about Calvin Ridley. I think that Calvin Ridley can actually be a top 10 wide receiver in the league next year. If he plays all 16 games and he can perform at the level he does, he can be a dangerous ass wide receiver. And because, and his rookie season, he had a great rookie season. I mean, remember that game versus the Pudats where he caught 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
He's what kept us in that game. I mean, I remember watching that game and just being like, how are we losing this game and giving up this many points to that offense? I was like, we may give up 20 to the Saints, or 23, but we're not giving up 37.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Saints. The only time Saints beat us is when we're not healthy, or if it's
the Saints usually work out a split with us. Like usually we'll split, and I think we'll split this year. But the Saints, when they're good, is really when they go. They want to talk about beating us. The only time that they beat us, but really convincingly, is when we're injured. And that was the thing about 2018. The reason why they put up 40 points on our defense, it was because our defense was injured. And if we had Deion Jones and we had Keanu Neal, that was the game that Ricardo Allen actually got injured. But if we had him, all of them healthy, we would have won that game by 10 points.
Hell, even more. We probably would have whooped their ass, probably.
I wouldn't say that. The Saints usually give us a good battle. They could give us a good battle, except for last year when we went in there and blew their asses out. But normally they'll give us a good battle, and we'll give them a good battle towards the end. The game, it may start off, running away, but games like these are games where you don't want to get your break off the gas, because but we're not supposed to be talking about the Saints right now. It's Calvin Ridley. But in conclusion of this topic, I think that Ridley has a great case to break out in the year of 2020. This is his year to break out. It's his year to finally prove that he's just not going to be no career number 2 wide receiver. He's going to be our number 1 wide receiver after Julio retires, and he will be a great receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about Calvin Ridley, here's topic 2. I don't know if y'all actually know this or anything, but it's actually Michael Vick's birthday.
Yeah, I knew that.
So, I decided to do something when I heard about this. Because I had 2 topics, this and the topic that I think we're all here for. But I actually wanted to do something. What are your top 5 Michael Vick plays with the Falcons? Not with the Eagles or with the Steelers or the Jets, but with the Falcons.
I'll tell you.
No, let me. We're gonna count it down 5 from 1, and I'm gonna go first. And then, you know what? I'll let you go first. Actually, the 5th best play from Michael Vick with the Falcons. So rise up, beat down. You can go first.
Well, I know one big play he did whenever when we were playing the Vikings in overtime, and he ran.
Okay, yeah. So no, but it isn't just one play. You can name 5 plays.
Plays. I gotta remember. I never really got to see Vick, but I'm trying to remember.
All right.
I think one time he ran a touchdown for 99 yards one time, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And it can't just be plays. They can be moments too, top 5 plays / moments with the Falcons.
I remember one I was little.
Number 5, I'm actually going to go with the touchdown run he had versus the Aints. Yes, I called them the Aints because they are the Aints. back in like 2002, but that touchdown run, that was just, it was in New Orleans. That was just so much electric speed by him. And I mean, Vick, I really wish that, we could have won a Super Bowl with Michael Vick just by that play. But, yeah.
I bet you. Oh, I don't know. What you say?
No, you can go.
Oh, I said, if the Falcons had a good defense in 2002, if they had a good defense and had a good offense, I bet you we would have beat the Buccaneers in the playoffs and would have beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Was that year when the Buccaneers were
That
good?
was 2002.
Yeah.
It could have happened. I mean, that year, 2002, it was the first year actually Arthur Blank owned the team, I think. And it would have been just like, first year he owns it and we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we made the playoffs. I'm going to let you pick the number 4 play first. Play/moment. It can be a moment.
Oh, moment. Well, moment for Michael Vick was beating the Packers in the wild card.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go with the damn, it was that I'm trying. I know it. It was the play that he made. It was that run that he made. I want to say it was the first one. It was one against the Panthers. I don't remember, but one of the runs versus the Panthers. I mean, you know what? Really, all the moments versus the Panthers are, I'm going to go with number 4. I'm putting them at number 4 because there were so many moments. And the Panthers, we whooped their asses with Michael Vick.
We still whooped their ass.
Yeah, we whooped their ass today. And we're going to continue to whoop their ass. We own the goddamn Carolina Panthers for one reason. I don't know why it is, but we own those damn Carolina fucking Panthers.
Man, the only thing they can really talk shit about is our uniforms. That's the only thing they can really talk shit about.
They can't. It doesn't matter what we're wearing. We'll still beat their asses, and we'll do it twice a year. They can't talk shit when we go in there. It's like with the Panthers, they're riding high. They're kind of hot. They lose to the Falcons. They go downhill. Like, it happens all the time. Like 2017, that they were riding high, could have been a Super Bowl contender, and then they lost to us week 17 to get in the playoffs for us to get in the playoffs, and then the next week they lost versus the Saints in the wild card.
Yeah, so this is probably not related or nothing, but some idiot was talking shit like, people. This idiot was saying.
Hold on. I gotta turn my. Say that again.
Oh, I said for somebody was being stupid or something. Someone said that the Buccaneers look better than the Falcons. I said you're tripping. They don't look good at all.
The Bucs basically copied our old uniforms in a way, and then they also went back to their olds in a way. But those Bucs away uniforms, I mean, you remove the stripes that we had, and those are the uniforms. And the Bucs uniforms are plain. Everyone's hating on our new uniforms. We were the only ones to really actually make a full-on change. Like, the Rams, they somewhat made a change. They made a worse change. But, I mean, they really didn't make that big of a change than the Falcons. The Patriots, they didn't make much of a change but go to their color rush uniform, so they didn't make a new uniform. The Browns, they just went back to their old uniforms. They didn't make much of a change. Bucks just went back to their old uniforms.
Or went back.
The Chargers are the team, like the Falcons, that made the most change to their uniforms. Like they actually changed their helmets, but I mean, still, those kind of somewhat look the same. The Falcons are the only ones who actually changed their uniforms fully, and everyone hates on us. And I think we made them pretty damn cool. Do I think that some of them look kind of weird? Yes, but they're cool uniforms, and no one likes to admit them because they're just
Falcon haters.
Everyone hates us for a reason, and I don't know why, but everyone hates the Falcons. And doesn't it feel like that?
It feels like the Falcons. I feel like it's the Falcons versus everybody.
It is. Heck, we could be 10-1, and people are still saying that we aren't a team that should be in the playoffs. There's still some people who say that we could be fucking 10-1, and there will be people who say we're not a playoff team, and that's fucking stupid.
The refs try to cheat the Falcons and the Saints. Honestly, they always try to cheat us.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I don't think that the refs cheat us. There have been some questionable calls over the year with the Falcons, but we haven't been cheated that much. The only real thing I can think about the refs cheating us was that championship game versus the Niners, and I was pissed about that one. That's the one that I really thought, something should have been done at that time, but it wasn't, and we had to deal with it.
Yeah. That play... When Matt ran through to Julio and Bruce Sherman, he put his arm on,
No, it wasn't. I'm talking about the championship game in 2012. It was when Matt Ryan threw, and there was a no PI on Roddy White.
Oh, yeah.
That was a stupid call, but, I mean, at the end of the day, it was really, we'd already been through so much Japan as sports fans at the time. So, I mean, really, but let's get back to the list. Number 3, I'm gonna let you go for number 3.
Wait, number 3 for what? Oh, Michael Vick?
Yeah.
Oh, number 3. Oh, yeah. I remember when Michael Vick, I don't know, some receiver, one was on his receiver and he broke out and Michael Vick threw it for a touchdown. Can't remember that receiver. Forgot his name.
I want to say he did that with the Falcons. I want to say he did it.
Yeah, he did. You know how Madden you can play maker on there?
Yeah, that was insane.
That's what it was like.
But I mean, for number 3 for me is gonna be the number 3 for me is actually that it was when he broke the single season rushing record, like rushing yards record. For me, that was it.
Oh yeah.
That was just like, and he held it until, Lamar broke it last year, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So, when does football season start?
What?
So when does football season start? Like week 1 of the NFL season. When does it start?
It starts September. Actually, I want to say the first game is September the 10th. Oh, let me look at the calendar. So we're in September 10th is when the season starts. That's when the Chiefs kick it off versus the Texans, and we finally get football back. And I'm going to say this much about the Hall of Fame game getting canceled. Look, yes, I'm not the happiest about it, but guess what? I'm still, I'm not going to get mad about it because it's a preseason game. I could care less if the preseason game gets canceled. As long as it's not the regular season, I'm okay with it. And they'll still probably play 2 preseason games. Yeah. And I think that, honestly, the Falcons participated in it a few times last year. They participated in it versus the Broncos. But, I'm not that concerned still. I'm really not that concerned about football happening.
Yeah, I hate preseason. I really don't like it.
I mean, I watch it because I want to see how it can kind of show how our black backups could be in the regular season if one of our starters goes.
Yeah, I watched the game and shit, but you gotta.
I mean, it's kind of boring, but the Falcons' first game is September 13th.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever we played a Broncos Hall of Fame game, people was acting like it was like a real important game. They're talking shit about the Falcons that we lost and everything. That's a preseason game. You're really gonna talk trash about a preseason game?
I mean, yeah, but anyway, that number 2. You want to tell your number 2 moment?
I can't really remember. 1 second. I can't really remember. I'm trying to think. I can't remember now. Can't remember, bro. Damn. Oh. Do you remember any game? Do you remember any Michael Vick moments? Do you remember all of them?
You just want me to
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to. I mean, you can come back, but I mean, my number 2 is actually the one you stated earlier. The win versus the Packers in the wild card. That was just. I mean, it was in Lambeau Field versus Brett Favre. No one counted the Falcons to even stand a chance in the game, and we went in there and won and shocked everyone, and everyone was at a loss of words. What's going on, Stackery Zone? Zone. So
yeah, Brett Favre. Yeah, Brett Favre. He was garbage on the Falcons.
He was here in Atlanta. I was actually thinking about the time Brett Favre. About Brett Favre. I was actually just thinking about him the other day and him in Atlanta. Brett Favre wasn't good here with the Falcons, but he wasn't good here because they really didn't give him an opportunity. And really, we beat, Brett Favre had a great career, but, Michael Vick going in there and the Falcons going in there and shocking the world versus Brett Favre, it was just one of the best moments in franchise history when we went in there and no one gave us a chance against Brett Favre and said the Falcons are going to get blown out in this game, Well,
Brett Favre, Brett Favre and James Winston are kind of terrible.
Yeah. Because okay, number 1. What do you want to go with for number 1? I honestly want to say you've already stated your number 1 moment.
Yeah, that game against the Vikings, yeah.
Oh, that's mine too. The overtime run versus the Vikings, I remember it it was like the Falcons win in overtime, and he kept running into the tunnel. It was an overtime run. It was a great play. Watching it was really the beginning of Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Yeah, Michael Vick. Those are my top 5 moments. Number 5, the run he had versus Saints in New Orleans for the touchdown. Number 2. No, that was number 5. Number 4, all the moments versus the Panthers. There are so many, so we'll just put all those in one. Number 3, the breaking the single season rushing yards record. Number 2, the wild card win versus the Packers. And number 1, the touchdown run in overtime versus the Vikings.
Yeah.
And you want to state yours really quickly?
Yeah. So this is a moment. Didn't he go to a Pro Bowl?
Hold on. No, you're supposed to state what you said your top 5s were.
Oh, my top 5s?
Yeah.
Oh, whenever he ran for that touchdown on the Vikings. Second, whenever what was I say for second?
You didn't pick a second, actually.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm just going. Okay, whenever we beat the Packers in the wild card, that was my second or third. I don't know. We. What else did I say? Can't remember.
Okay. Well, topic 3, and I think why everyone is here. Are the Falcons the best team in the NFC South in 2020? Now, hold on. Now, let me run down the NFC South really quickly. Let's start off with the Carolina Panthers, who they added some offensive weapons, but they got a young defense, and they don't really stand a chance. They're not, I wouldn't count them to really make the playoffs. They could be shocking, but by shocking, I mean going 7-9 or 8-8 instead of 5-11 or 4-12. I'm gonna say this: I'm not gonna count them out full on to make to, they could maybe surprise some people and be in contention the last few weeks, but I'm not gonna say that will happen. The Falcons, we know, got Todd Gurley, Dante Fowler, Marlon Davidson in the draft, AJ Terrell in the draft, and they're looking better, obviously. And the Saints, they got they still got Drew Brees, still got that clown on that team, that squiddler looking motherfucker Michael Thomas. They still got Emmanuel Sanders. They got him from free agency. They drafted Zach Bond in the draft. And then the Bucks, we know, drafted, got the greatest quarterback of all time in free agency, the greatest offseason move ever, and then one of the greatest tight ends of all time. Let me say this now. Panthers, I'm not going to say are going to be competitive, but you never know. Now, that we knock it down to 3 teams. So, let's start off with the Bucks. I think in a way they're kind of being overhyped. I think that we need to look towards that second season that he has with the Bucks than the first, because you always struggle in a Bruce Arians offense year one. People trying to say he'll run that Patriots offense. Yes, he'll run some plays of that Patriots offense, but he ain't going to be running that Patriots offense down there in Tampa.
Bruce Arians not no Bill Belichick.
He's not Bill. He's a good offensive mind, but he's not Bill Belichick. He's and Gronk. He's gonna be there 1 year. He may gel on towards the end, but it's not gonna be like they think he'll be. Like they'll come out week 1, they'll beat the Saints, and then they'll go on a roll. And that's not how it's gonna go with the Bucks. And then we go to the Saints. And I really hate to say this, I really do, but the Saints, they are, dare I say it, I hate saying this, but they are somewhat of a good team. I hate saying it, but they are somewhat of a good team. They got looks like a good contending team. Although when they get in the playoffs, they'll probably choke to someone again. But the thing with the Saints is they should have more than one ring by now, but they decided to go out and mess around in the playoffs, and then bam, here we are where they got no ring, and no ring in the past few years when they should have probably had more than one ring. The Saints, now the way I look at it, are the Falcons the best team in the NFC South? I'm not going to say they're the best team in the division yet, but they're definitely one of the best. That you cannot say that, the Falcons are worse than number 3 in the division. I do think that the Saints still have could win this division. I do think that right now they'll win the division, and the Bucs and Falcons will get a wild card. But honestly, I'm starting to feel a little different on the Bucs. So I think he'll really be the Saints and Falcons competing in this division. But
the bandwagon will be annoying as shit.
The bandwagons are in Tampa, and see if they end up going 8-8, the bandwagons are going to be gone.
I'm going to be back on the page.
What we've seen from years out of Tampa, which is...
I'm telling you right now, the Falcons... Okay, let's say me and you are wrong. Because I kind of have my doubts on them a little bit. I have my doubts, then I'm positive about them. Like, everybody thinks we're going to go... everybody thinks we're going to go 7-9 again. Well, let's just say the Falcons go fucking... Let's just say they go fucking 15-0. Let's just say we go straight up go undefeated. Like, we don't lose no games at all.
We're not going to go undefeated, bro. I mean, I ain't saying we're not going to... That's for a little later on, but we're not going to go undefeated, and that's all I'm going to say. But do I think they're the best team in the division? I'm not going to say that yet, but they're one of the best. They're definitely up there. They're being so underrated by every team. Every team's going to overlook the Falcons, and when they come out here and they win the Super Bowl, everyone's going to be shocked.
I don't want people to say we're going to be good. I want people to doubt us.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, yes, I'm starting to grow more positivity, but this is the one thing. When the Falcons have people believing that they can do stuff, they don't go out and perform how they should perform. And then, everyone was saying Quinn's gone. And he went out and went 6-2 their final 8 games, and Quinn is back for another year.
Well, let's say this. Let's say the Falcons do horrible again this year. Let's say the Falcons go 8-8 or 7-9 this season, and Quinn gets fired. You think we can go on a full rebuild?
That's a tough question. I think lots of people think we will.
I think we just retool. That's why I think
retool because
let's just be real.
We're not going to full-on rebuild because we'll still have Matt Ryan for like a few more years. We'll still have Julio. So retool and maybe, but I don't know. I think they will be good, but I just don't know about that.
But to say this, we have a horrible season. I don't think Keanu will be on the team anymore because we got to resign him this season. After this season, I think.
Yeah, we do. And Keanu Neal gets injured again, or he comes back and has a half-ass season, he'll be gone.
Yeah. If
he comes back and is a comeback player of the year candidate and has a great season, there's an option that we have to do. We'll have to choose between him or Todd Gurley. We have 2 players on this team that could go out and have great comeback seasons. But that puts us in the position. Keanu Neal or Todd Gurley?
I keep Gurley. Gurley's a beast.
He's a beast, but he isn't going to be here that longer,
4 years.
Keanu Neal is a guy that can still be young, that can still be a vocal point of your defense. Gurley only has a few years left in the tank, but I think that he will be pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm about to end this soon. So for the 3 topics today, do I think Ridley will break out? Yes, Ridley's going to be a great player next year. He'll have 1,000 yards. He'll have probably 9 touchdowns. Vick, I think his all-time play with the Falcons is the overtime run versus the Vikings. And are the Falcons the best team in the NFC South? I'm not going to say that yet, but I think we're one of the best teams, but not the best team yet. And who do I think is the best team? I really hate saying this, but I do still think it's the Saints.
I'd rather them win division again than the Bucs, though. I'd rather them win it than the Bucs.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to end this one. So, yeah, this was the first episode. Obviously wasn't the most, exciting one because it's the first episode, but later on, maybe we get some more special guests in here and I can morally prepare it. But yeah, next Monday, is going to be the next episode. And yeah, that is going to do it for this broadcast. Thank you for joining me. Rise Up, Beat Down.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. You're always welcome, and anyone else who wants to come talk the Falcons, talk about the topic we'll be discussing. You know what it is. Zachary Stone, thank you for popping in. Rise Up, Beat Down. This is Rise Up ATL. The ones who will view this podcast again. Thank you for watching this, and I will see y'all on Monday for the next episode of the podcast. Probably will do a stream this weekend, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Peace out, y'all. You want to say any final thing to everyone?
I guess subscribe to my channel. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm starting the season. I'm gonna every game we play. I'm gonna put a video about the game, what went bad, and what went good, stuff like that. Shit Rundown does.
Well, yeah, like Logan does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of do that, but I'm also gonna do like it in a more like trash talking way this year. Like,
Same here.
I'm gonna do hate weeks. I'm gonna do crows. I also do videos talking about the full on game that we will be playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is going to do it for this. Subscribe to Rise Up Beatdown. And yeah, put your channel down below. Like Solita does it. I guess no, I'll actually find your channel and put it in the description of the stream.
Yeah.
So
I want to post 3 videos. That Buccaneers video I posted. It was like 2 months ago. Posted that one down. I got a few likes on it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming in here. Wasn't the most organized. Could have done a little better talking about it, but that is going to do it for this one. I know it wasn't quite an hour, but hey, we're getting there. I'm starting to kind of get the groove now since I did my first one, but everyone who watched, thanks for watching. Make sure you do subscribe. This is the Falcons channel. Also a trash talking channel. So if any of y'all want to trash talk, then yeah. But anyways, y'all, this is where I'm ending it here. But yeah, want to say, you said your final thing. You got anything else to say before I end this?
Nah.
Okay, well, Peace out, y'all. And I will see y'all on I'll probably do a stream tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll do a stream. If you want to trash talk, you can come right on in. But yeah, peace out, y'all.
Peace out.